Hello and welcome to this paint through video. I was asked to do it by somebody called Mike Webb, who messaged me from my YouTube pages. So thanks, Mike. Hopefully this will help you out. What I'm going to do is I'm painting through a British Peninsular red coat. In this instance, is a member of the Light Company, but they're pretty much the same, whether they be Centre Company or Grenadier Company. The difference is Centre Company's plumes are white over red, and the Grenadiers are white. The Light Company have a green plume. It goes back to the period when they wore green jackets and stuff. But anyway, by the by, that's what we're going to be doing. Now, if anybody really wants to know a lot about the British Army, the Napoleonic period, this is a superb book. This was recommended to me and I bought it, and I'm telling you, it is fantastic. British Napoleonic Uniforms by C.E. Franklin. You got to get it, basically. And the one on artillery is good as well. So anyway, this paint through is done for the way I do them. I'm not saying it's the right way, it's just the way I paint my Napoleonic miniatures. It's done in the method employed is to be able to paint armies for wargaming. We're not painting display miniatures, we're painting wargaming pieces, and the idea is that you want to get them done quick, you want to get them to look okay, and you want them to be tough for handling. So that's the mentality at which I approach this. Obviously the methods that I employ may differ from other people's. Like I say, this is how I do it. So without further ado, let's go on. This is a Light Company. Here's what we're going to be painting. They're on 2p pieces or skirmish bases, because they're going to be used in skirmishing formation, so there's no point in worrying about basing them on a base of 4. What I've done so far is I've put my the basing gel that I use, the what's it called, the Galleria acrylic medium, the black lava texture gel. Put it on the base, it's dried. Then I've primed the whole miniature in the Vallejo Desert Tan base primer with a brush. I use the brush to brush it on. The reason I do this is because it gives a good base for the white, because they'll have white trousers on, and it's a good base for the red as well. So they won't all have white trousers on, they'll probably have the brown trousers, because I might do one with white trousers and the rest will have brown trousers. Not for any other reason than it just looks better in my view. So, or I might change my mind, I don't know. So that's a starting point. So these have been primed now. I've been left for overnight, just to make sure that it's the primer's completely dry and everything's sealed and it's all contracted lovely. And we'll get on and start painting them. So after a little while, I've put on the base colours for the jackets and trousers. The jackets I've used Mephiston Red, which in my view is probably one of the best base colours for red that's out at the moment. It's just brilliant. It covers really well. I mean, this jacket is just one coat over the primer, so and it's solid. And on this instance, I couldn't remember the brown I used last time for the trousers, but I thought that the German camouflage pale brown from Vallejo, I've put that on there to cover it well. I'll use a lighter brown, or mix a bit of that with some ivory or something a bit later on, just to lighten it up, just to make it a bit lighter. No, I think that's good. The first, and then obviously on the I'm doing one with white trousers as well. This is ivory straight over the pale, the primer colour, which is the tan the sand. If I was going over any other colour, I would actually put a coat of pale sand over the primer before putting the ivory on, but because we're coming up from a sand base anyway, I haven't bothered. The next major task now is sorting out all of the webbing areas, and I shall go over all of those where I've gone over it with the red with pale sand before using ivory. So we'll see how we get on. Okay. Just a quick aside, you may have noticed there's a flipping mould line running right down his trouser. I hadn't spotted that before, but I can see it now, so I have to take that off. So I'll do that as well. So just follow that line out. It goes up a bit more up there, but I can't be bothered. From the angle that you're viewing at, it won't matter, but it would drive me mad. And there is another one down the inside leg there, but once again, I think the angles will get away with that. It was just the fact that it came across the top of his thigh, so I just got to reprime that little bit and go over it again. Yeah, such is life. To you lot, this has been a split second, but believe you me, it's taken a while. This I've gone over the webbing and stuff with the pale sand. Where is it now? This pale sand over the red, and then I've gone over it again in ivory. I don't know whether you can see that, but in ivory, and I'll leave it at that now. That's as much as I need to do. I'll concentrate on getting some other colours in before we put the white on. So we've done a few more colours and they're starting to look something like now. Just let me point out what I've done here. I put the base colour for the yellows onto the cuffs and things. I'm not bothering with the lace at the moment. I'll do that after I put the lighter yellow on. The base colour I've used is Avalon Sunset Base, which is obviously a GW paint. I painted out all the black bits. Well, some of them aren't going to be black, but the better from a black base, like the barrel on the gun, is better painted up from black rather than the light stuff. On the backpack thing and the thing, I've used basalt grey, which is that, and black. The black I'm using is this army painted black. I just like it. And obviously I haven't painted the strapping on that white yet. I will do. Well, ivory, I'll paint it. What else have I done? Oh yes, has this one got one? I can't quite see. No, this one hasn't got one. This one has. I just put a little spot of black in there just to, that's where his neck stock will be. I need to tidy up the edges and stuff. I don't paint very tidily. I painted the flesh, and I just painted that in coat arms flesh. Use any flesh, plenty of it. That's about it really. The next bit I'll do is I'll go over all of the white straps there. I shall paint the gun stock and I shall paint the strap there, and then do a little bit of the base yellow there and there, the lighter yellow, and then just use a few inks here and there just to sort of give some definition, do some basic highlighting. So that's what we'll do next. Okay, a bit further on. Right then, what have I done? I painted the stocks of the guns in Panzer Ace's New Wood, and then I have done the barrels with a mixture of I can't find it now. I've actually used plate mail and black on the actual barrel, and then pure plate mail on the bayonet and stuff. There it is, plate mail. Then what I've done is, obviously I've done the straps on the back. Oh yes, I painted the bread bag in linen, just to give it a bit of variation. And I paint the water bottles with sky blue. There's people use Andrea blue or different blues, but they were blue. But once they're finished, wash on, it darkens it down a lot. I've then done a bit of chestnut ink over the flesh and over the wood, and a bit of chestnut ink over the linen as well, just to sort of give it some sort of controlled sort of shading. I'll go over that again in flesh, the hands and stuff. So what's to do now? Well, there's a strap here that needs doing in leather. I use English uniform, but I'll do that in a minute. There's some other bits and pieces. Oh yes, I've got to put the brown on the centre there, ready for the bronze. And then it's a case of just cleaning him up. Where I've gone over bits, I'll go over the base colours again, and then I'll highlight the red. I didn't put the highlight on the yellow yet. I will do that in the next phase. Yeah, so we're getting there. They are coming together. Done the strap around the water bottle, which goes up over the front there. That was done in English uniform. That was a top tip from British Legion. English uniform makes a great leather. What else? Yes, I've done the facings. I just used this Uriel yellow over the base coat of the, what's it called, Avaland, Sunset, whatever. I've tidied up. I went back over the edges and stuff with the Fiston red, and then I've done a liberal block highlight using blood red from Coat d'Arms, but any decent blood red will do, I suppose. Where I'd used the chestnut wash last time, the Seraphim sepia, sorry, I've just gone back over his face and done the highlights and stuff on his hands. Once again, it's just block highlighting, it's nothing spectacular. And the same here, I used the base linen with a little bit of white and just went over the bread bag a bit. So yeah, oh, I forgot to mention in the last little update, I just painted the straps white, well, ivory. I haven't painted any white yet. So yeah, the next bit I shall be doing, I suppose, is I'll tidy up little things like that dibble there on the black and stuff. You might notice this big brown splodge in the middle of his chest. That's brass, and as is that. I just put the brown on there because it makes the brass go on better. So next thing to do is I'll do his hair. I'll do the hair on all of them. I'll explain hair in the next update, and finish tidying up, and just do a bit of block highlighting on the trousers. Yeah, okay. This is where we are now. I've done the hair. Now for the hair, I like Middlestone, and what I do is I'll mix different types of brown in. So I think it I don't know. Sometimes I do pure Middlestone, and then I'll mix in whatever browns I've got, and just to vary the batch that I'm doing. So I've done the hair with them. I've spotted white on just to sort of give it a bit of a highlight. I've done all of the brass fittings, so that's his little tip on his thing, the thing on his hat, and the plate there. I don't use brass, I use this weapon bronze. I just like it, it's a nice paint. I use it for my cannons as well. That's that. Touched up the black, and I've done these little highlights of I think they look a bit stark at the moment, but it comes out in the wash, you'll see. And for that I've used black grey. if you haven't got a black grey, get it. It's brilliant for edge. If you're doing things like Black Templars and stuff, fantastic edge highlighting colour. Touched up the basalt grey, painted out the overpaints and stuff. I've done a little, but I don't know whether the camera picks it up, but there's a bit of a block highlight on the trousers. For that, I've gone in with the pale brown with a mix of German camouflage beige. I was going to use ivory, but it came out a bit bright, so I used that, and it sort of blended it in a bit better. When the final what's it called? This stuff. When I paint the quick shade on, it helps. What else? Yes, the tuft. I painted that park green flat. Now I don't know whether that's the right green. I don't think anybody knows what colour green they are, but they're green because it's a light company. So I can't think of anything else that I did in the last stage. I had to go out, you see, after I normally video straight away, but sorry about that. So that's that then. That's mainly the base colours done. Oh, I painted the base. These are in the Peninsular, so I've done a sort of like light browny base. That's actually, if I can find it, Panzer Ace's light mud. Once there's a wash on there and the foliage is on, it'll look like arid land, so that'll be fine. Yeah. Oh, little things that I haven't done. Aficionados will know that there should be a white line around the collars. I don't really worry too much about things like that. These are war games miniatures. They're not accurate to any historical standard. I know what it is. It's a war games miniature, and it's a light company, and it's British. And at 3 feet away, it looks perfectly fine. So there's little things like that that I don't do. I could do, and I have done on some of them, but on this particular batch I haven't. What else? Yeah, so that's it for now. I will go away and give these running over the quick shade, and we'll come back and see what the final bits that I do are. I always get asked about the dip and its uses, so I thought I'll just stick this in quick. This is how I use it, with a brush, and I just dab it on like that. I don't dip them as such anymore. This gives a much better finish. It looks horrible, I know, but they do work out quite well, and it's no different than doing a brown wash, a heavy brown wash. But, just let me get this base done. Just got everything, because it's varnished as well, you see. I just want to make sure that all the paint stays on. So there we go. Okay, he's nice and covered and nice and brown. And then all I do is I get a bit of cloth. Like I can't quite see. And it's a case of dipping it off. That's really all there is to it. It's quite controlled. Gives good results, and you get your mini varnish at the same time. So there you go. I'll check him in about 5 minutes or so just to make sure there's no runs, and let him to dry for 24 hours and then finish him off. Okay? So they're out of the dip and dry and very shiny, as you can see. But what I'm doing now is, if you look at the whites on this one, for example, on the strapping, I'm just going over the top level of the strapping with pure white, just to make it more sort of as you imagine it to be. Just makes it stand out a bit more. And once I've done all of that, and I'll probably put a bit of yellow on to the collar and the cuffs, and just touch the white upon the lace on the cuffs, and then I'll matte varnish them. So before I put the matte varnish on, what I've done, like I say, I've put some white on the white, so that's sort of like made it whiter. I've gone round and put a sort of above highlight of red. It's the pure blood red, but you'll notice it better. And just done a touch of the Uriel yellow on the collars and whatnot, just to give them more of a obviousness, as it were, just to make them look more like toy soldiers, to be honest. So now I'll put the matte varnish on, and that'll should bring them out then. And yeah. Right then, so after a bit of going over with the reds and whites and what have you in various bits and bats, as I've shown you, I covered them in a couple of coats of matte varnish, and they see how they come up. I still need to base them, but I won't bore you with the basing. I think they've come out quite acceptable, considering how easily and straightforward they are to do. They look quite okay as war games pieces. Wouldn't win the competition, but there you go. Very good. This is the varnish I've used. It's just a acrylic varnish. It's fairly cheap. It's lasted me a long time. I've had it about 2 or 3 years, and I'm not even about to there on it, so I don't use that much. I just mix it with a bit of water, about 50-50, and slap it on, and then take it off with a brush in the same way that you've seen me do with the army paint and dip. Okay, well, I hope that helps you and somebody finds it useful. Right. Okay, so that's how I paint my British Napoleonic figures. It's a bit of an evolution. I mean, when I first started painting the British, I didn't paint them like that, but over time, that's how I've adapted. Anyway, so I hope this this video has helped you, Mike, and I hope it helps anybody else in the future. So I'll leave it here for reference. Okay, thanks very much for watching. Bye.